the National Weather Desk, a triple weather threat, an unusual tornado risk across the east.
Much of the eastern half of the United States under the risk of severe weather.
A powerful blizzard in the Midwest.
It's terrible. We actually ended up lost because we couldn't see one of the road signs.
And a record-setting heat dome out west.
This will be a multi-day event, a rare heat wave for what technically is still wintertime out there.
Plus, more than 40 inches of rain in a matter of days leaves parts of Hawaii underwater. You'll see how supercell storms form.
Well, first, you have to start to fuel these storms, and the first part is going to be the inflow notch.
And a look back on a historic snowstorm more than 30 years ago.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Storms, snow, and scorching heat spark a nationwide weather whiplash. We have it all covered for you this morning. We're going to start in the east where an unusually large area is under a severe threat for severe storms. The region from D.C. to South Carolina faces a level 4 out of 5 risk. And all more than 95 million people from New York to Florida could see severe damaging wind, hail, and tornadoes. Meteorologist Eileen Whalen has details.
A powerful cold front sweeping through the country has much of the eastern half of the United States under the risk of severe weather. For the first time in a very long while, you'll see we have a level 4 out of 5 risk category from the Storm Prediction Center that includes D.C. down 95 from Richmond, Raleigh into portions of South Carolina. So what does a level 4 risk category mean? Well, it means that widespread severe weather is likely. We could see long-lived severe weather, intense strong tornadoes, widespread wind damage, and even hail, all possible. So it's imperative that you have a way to get weather alerts later today. We could also have flash flooding, a very dynamic system. So during the afternoon and evening hours up and down the East Coast, we'll be tracking not only severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, but on the backside of this system, much colder air. So a clash of air masses. Again, make sure that you have a way to get weather alerts on this very active weather day.
Overnight, a possible tornado ripped through southern Tennessee. Powerful winds destroyed several homes in Bonnertown. That's about 100 miles from Nashville. Hundreds of trees are uprooted. There are reports of some minor injuries as well. You have reporter Chris Knowles is on the scene this morning.
Many mobile homes in the area. If we have one right here, you can see damage to the roof, and it's not looking like it's even on the foundation that it's supposed to be on. And when we rode down this road, we saw a number of homes there. And we want to just pan this area and just show you how widespread the damage is here.
Well, the National Weather Service will need to send a survey team to determine if this was, in fact, a tornado. In Texas, extreme winds struck near the Oklahoma border on Sunday. It created dust storms and hazardous driving conditions. A number of cars were involved in chain reaction crashes. Winds were gusting up to 40 miles an hour. On top of all that, from severe storms, we turn to blizzard conditions in several Midwestern states. Now, blizzard warnings are up for parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan. Several feet of snow are expected before everything wraps up a little bit later on today. Now, several cities could set all-time records. There are also 50 to 60 mile per hour winds creating blowing snow and whiteout conditions. Ben Krumholtz is out in the elements in Green Bay this morning.
Good morning from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we've been dealing with a blizzard since late Saturday night. Northern parts of Wisconsin approaching 30 inches of snow. Our entire region has seen at least a foot and is approaching, if not surpassing, 2 feet of snow. We haven't seen a storm like this in 8 years, and it's expected to continue throughout today. People are being advised to stay off the roads. Schools are closed, businesses are closed. Visibility is a real issue as wind gusts have been up to 50 miles an hour. The hope is that cleanup will continue throughout the day and hopefully things start to return to normal on Tuesday. Reporting from Green Bay, I'm Ben Krumholtz.
In the early hours of the blizzard, people in the Green Bay area tried to stay ahead of what was to come.
Just trying to keep up with the snow and coming out every couple hours. to keep up on it. As soon as we heard that the snow was coming, we were hunkered down, ready to go.
While snow blowing, one woman saw her neighbor shoveling and decided to step in.
Before we had a snowblower, our neighbor here used to come and snowblow with his kids our driveway, and everyone helps each other around this neighborhood. It's really nice.
Gwen Hazen was out in the elements to be helpful too.
I'm with Copper, who is used to going out for walks 3 times a day, and so he was anxious to get out, and I figured this would be our last chance to get out with the snow piling up today.
That doesn't mean it was easy.
We had to walk in the road in the spots where the sidewalks weren't cleared off, and at one point I couldn't see because my glasses had all filled with ice and snow and fogged up.
No matter who we spoke to on Sunday, they all said the same thing, that Blizzard Elsa was bringing conditions that were extremely difficult, especially for drivers.
It's terrible. I would absolutely not be out driving if I didn't have to be. If you don't have a 4x4, I wouldn't leave at all. We actually ended up lost because we couldn't see one of the road signs. Ended up way past where we wanted to be.
In Green Bay, I'm Eric Morris.
And it's a completely different story out west. A record-setting heat dome is parked over a number of western states with triple-digit temperatures expected in several cities. The long-term heat wave is going to accelerate snow melt in the mountains while raising the risk of wildfires. California meteorologist Ella Newman shows us what's going on.
Let's take a look at that rare winter heat dome, a summer-like high pressure in March, as we are tracking this air mass that will be caused by a high pressure ridge. High pressure leads to sinking air, which leads to heat by compression. The molecules of air crowd together, friction kicks in, and the temperatures go up. Augmented by a clear sky and full sunshine, record highs will be likely out there for several days this week. That high is coming in from the Pacific, and that will only build in the days ahead. Monday, it will be warm in the Central Valley of California, downright hot in the San Fernando Valley of LA. Tuesday, that high pressure goes right overhead, and that means HOT up and down and all around this part of the USA. And this will be a multi-day event, a rare heat wave for what technically is still wintertime out there.
Well, it's been a rough week in Hawaii where a storm has battered the island for days. It's known as the Kona Low, and it's brought heavy rain, floods, and damaging winds. Parts of Maui saw more than 40 inches of rain over 5 days. Other parts received nearly 2 feet of rain. That led to floods, water rescues, closed roads. Among them trapped were several farm animals just outside of Honolulu. Ali Duclo has details.
Right in front of my mom and our property, the water is like this. All our neighbors' properties are all underwater. You know, our neighbor next door, they lost 4 of their goats.
But amid all the loss at the farm, which has been swamped, a moment of celebration.
Yes, let's go.
We were there the moment 2 horses were finally rescued after being stuck in the floodwaters for 3 days.
It's very emotional. You know, we thought we was going to lose our horses.
The horses' owners had trouble getting the animals out, so they had to paddle about the length of a football field for multiple trips to feed them.
We stayed up all the way, and we just was going back and forth to comfort them in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock a.m., while it's pouring rain. So the cold rain, the water literally is like 5-6 feet on the water.
Another farmer had to save these 3 puppies.
I was scared, you know, I was like, oh, I'm coming for you boys, you know what I mean? So, yeah, they saw me, they was like, oh, daddy.
Now the farmers must wait for the skies to clear and the land to dry up so they can begin repairs. We're told the extensive damage caused tens of thousands of dollars in losses.
You okay? No. You okay? You okay?
And wow, that was a quick-thinking skier who helped rescue another skier who became trapped. You can see it there, upside down in deep snow. He was able to rush over and help dig out that other person. The incident happened at the summit of Snoqualmie Pass in Washington State. The area had a total of 55 inches of snow on the ground at the time. The rescued skier was shaken but not seriously injured. For all the latest weather news and video, be sure to follow us on social media. We have all the latest on the current triple weather threat across the country. You can also find us anywhere you get your social media. Just search the National Weather Desk. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, we'll help you better understand how tornadoes form, and we'll look back at the infamous blizzard of '93.
I'm meteorologist Ryan Munn. Let's get a look at the Northeast. We head through the day on Monday. We are looking at lots of rain and lots of wind throughout the region. You can see a warm front passing through, bringing some steady rain throughout much of the Northeast throughout the morning, even into the afternoon hours. And then the cold front will pass through as we head through Monday night. We are looking at a moderate to heavy rain throughout much of the Northeast. That continues into early on Tuesday. The wind will be with us Tuesday as well. High temperatures today in the 50s to near 60.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jabali. Here's a look at the mid-Atlantic region. A strong cold frontal passage expected as we move through your Monday. This will likely lead to some strong thunderstorms, severe weather even likely for much of the region, with damaging winds and even the potential for some tornadoes going through Monday afternoon and early evening. The system will eventually clear throughout the evening and overnight. We'll be drying out. It will be much colder going into Tuesday. While high temperatures could reach the 60s, even close to 70 on Monday, we're going to be stuck in the upper 30s to 40s on Tuesday.
Good Monday morning, meteorologist Michael Arborg with a look at your southeast regional forecast. We are looking at a strong cold front marching through the southeast with heavy thunderstorms, the potential for severe weather across parts of the lower southeast, so do watch out for this. These storms will roll into central Florida late in the day and southern Florida by the end of the day. Clearing and much colder weather will be coming in behind that front with high pressure building in over the next few days. Check out the temperatures behind the front. Upper 30s Nashville, low to mid 80s south and central Florida.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
And we are in severe weather season, and as we have mentioned this morning, that means tornadoes. To help you better understand how severe storms are produced, how it produce tornadoes, we turn to meteorologist Noah Hawk.
On March the 10th, 2026, Kankakee, Illinois, saw an EF3 tornado, and a user on X, Intel Point Alert, was able to snag an image of the radar showing off a tornadic supercell, and this is going to be a textbook definition of what they look like. So how do we get this sort of image, and what is the anatomy of a supercell? Well, first, you have to start to fuel these storms, and the first part is going to be the inflow notch. This is where that air is going to be surging towards the storm, but that air has to go somewhere, and typically it's going to go up. That's where you have your updraft, just in that dry portion of that hook echo. But how do we get this hook echo? This is something that is very signature about a tornadic supercell, typically indicating where that tornado is. But you also have to have a downdraft with these storms. And the first one is the rear flank downdraft. This is going to be where that air or that precipitation is getting wrapped around the mesocyclone or the rotating part of a supercell. And this is also where that rain is going to be falling down towards the ground. And as it falls to the ground, it's pulling the air down with it, creating that downdraft effect. Now we're also going to see a different downdraft. This is the forward flank downdraft. This is where we have that precipitation core, so the heavier rainfall, and also where the hail core is going to be as well. And when it comes to stronger supercells, you're going to have something known as a V-notch. Now this is important because this means that it's a very strong storm, and that black dot is going to represent the top of the updraft. Now, you'll notice it's not at the same point as the surface updraft, and that's because this storm is heavily sheared, and so that means that the updraft is going to be tilted. And when this updraft is very strong, as that precipitation is getting ejected up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, it actually has to go around the updraft, causing that V shape because it's just so strong. So not every supercell is going to produce a tornado, but when it does, it has a pretty classic sign.
Well, conditions across South Carolina range from abnormally dry to severe drought. It has some residents wondering about the wisdom of recent prescribed burns, which was meant to get rid of excessive brush to prevent wildfires from getting out of control. Jane Caroline Fusco has the story.
As smoke turned to floating ash, 25 families were told to pack up as fast as they could, grabbing what they could and trying to figure out just how close the fire was.
We're lucky that nothing bad happened to the school or the our street, but I feel like it was a little bit of negligence going on because that definitely shouldn't have happened.
Officials say fires started during a prescribed burn on undeveloped land just outside the community. But with dry conditions across the region, our weather experts say it doesn't take much for a fire to spread once it starts.
As long as things are dry for a long time, then we are going to get the possibility of wildfires, and that's going to continue to be a problem into the future. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
South Carolina is now entering peak wildfire season when dry vegetation and wind are dangerous combination.
There will be some fires here and there because the brush underneath the canopy is very dry at this point.
Our weather experts don't expect any changes to the low country's severe drought.
Unfortunately, the rain that we got, it's not going to do anything to alleviate the drought conditions.
The Cascade Mountains in Oregon got some much needed snow recently. It had some folks wanting to rush to the slopes or even get out for some backcountry skiing. But experts warn the changing weather patterns often mean an increased risk of avalanches. Avery Elowit has more.
While the recent winter weather brings much needed snow to the Cascades, you may want to rush to the slopes or even the backcountry. But Dallas Glass, deputy director of the Northwest Avalanche Center, warns that significant changes to the weather pattern often mean an increased risk of avalanches.
Big changes mean big problems. So when we see big storms, a lot of snow, a lot of wind, a shift from snow to rain, or like it's been snowing, and suddenly the sun comes out. Those are all really big changes in the weather.
The Northwest Avalanche Center issues daily avalanche forecasts, rating the risk on a danger scale, from the lowest at 1 to the highest at 5.
The avalanche danger changes every single day, just like the weather. So we need to check the forecast and take time to read it to understand the most up-to-date conditions.
These forecasts specifically apply to backcountry activities such as skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, and snowmobiling.
Number one, we want to check the forecast and make sure to take time to read it. There's a lot of details in these forecasts to help you understand the conditions you're going to be experiencing. Number two, make sure you have the correct gear with you. This includes avalanche rescue gear, an avalanche transceiver, an avalanche probe, and an avalanche shovel. Every person in the group needs to be carrying this equipment in case an avalanche occurs. And lastly, we need to have the knowledge to do this.
And when you're out in the snow, stay aware. Experts say snow cracking, collapsing, or making a big whump sound, or if there's been a recent avalanche there already, are all indicators of an avalanche.
Well, this week marks 33 years since a monster system slammed the United States from the southeast to Maine. Known as the storm of the century, it brought a myriad of conditions from severe thunderstorms and coastal floods to high winds and record-breaking snowfall. Blizzard conditions brought the mountains of western North Carolina to a standstill. Asheville meteorologist Julia Haley takes a look back.
This is an interstate road, and we're in the high-speed lane.
The blizzard of 1993.
So this is going to be one we are not going to forget.
The storm of the century. 33 years ago, western North Carolina disappeared under deep snow.
Here's the setup. A low-pressure system formed over the Gulf of Mexico, and warm waters fueled rapid intensification. The system moved north into the southeast. The storm blew into Asheville overnight, March 12th into March 13th. By daytime on the 13th, blizzard conditions spread across the southeast and the Appalachians. The storm quickly evolved into one of the strongest mid-latitude cyclones ever observed in the eastern United States.
Asheville Regional Airport measured 18 inches of snow in 48 hours. Parts of the mountains received more than 2 feet of snow. Mount Mitchell recorded 50 inches, and Mount LeConte received 5 feet. Major roads in Asheville became impassable. Snow weight snapped trees across the mountains and even collapsed greenhouses in Henderson County. Power outages left many homes in the cold for days. Helicopters dropped food and medical supplies to trapped residents. The National Guard rescued stranded campers in the Smokies.
I've never seen snow that deep in my life. Saturday morning, we hiked through at least 2 feet of snow for 6 miles.
Were you ever afraid you might not get out alive?
The point crossed my mind a few times.
12 people died in western North Carolina. More than 3 decades later, the blizzard of '93 remains a benchmark for winter storms and serves as a reminder that even in March, winter isn't over yet.
And as we head to break, we take in views of the beautiful Seattle skyline and the Puget Sound.
Well, a very good Monday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. The Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley getting slammed with that big area of low pressure, getting a lot of snow across the northern Great Lakes there. Now, as we continue on into the next few days, we got a clipper that's going to try to start sliding its way down across the upper Midwest for Tuesday. That'll try to slide its way into the Ohio Valley as we head into your Wednesday. A lot warmer, though, out to the west.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Looking at forecast across the region. The front is now well off to the south and east, and the colder air is here. We're starting in the 20s from Amarillo to Oklahoma City, 30s and 40s as you work to the south. It will be a cooler day, 40s and 50s, a few low 60s across deep South Texas. Then on your Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, we start off in the 30s across much of the region. The afternoon's a little milder, 60s and a few 70s showing up, warmer by the middle and end of the week.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Stella Sun. High temperatures will be soaring across the desert southwest as an area of high pressure continues to get its act together. Meanwhile, in the atmospheric river system, it's pointing towards British Columbia. It's going to sink its way towards the Pacific Northwest and bring a rain-snow mix towards the mountains. Daytime highs will be soaring into the 90s for Phoenix, in the mid-80s for San Diego. We're also going to be seeing those highs climbing to the 80-degree mark in San Francisco.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
As we mentioned, many areas are dealing with recent snowfall, but do you know just how heavy snow can be? Meteorologist Lindsay Storrs has the answer.
Snow can weigh a lot, especially when you get 1 to 2 feet of it. So I wanted to show you just how much that snow can weigh. If you've got a foot of snow on a 1,500 square foot roof, let's say it's really light, fluffy snow, even that fluffy snow with a water to snow ratio of 15 to 1 is about the weight of a big truck. Now, if you've got a normal snow with a ratio of 10 inches of snow to 1 inch of water, that's the equivalent of a truck and a passenger car being on top of your roof. And if you've got a foot of that heavy wet snow on your roof, that's the equivalent to having 3 big trucks up on top of your roof. So you can see why snow can be so dangerous when you get a lot of it.
And we'd love to share your weather content on the air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Just search the National Weather Desk. We'll be right back. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.